Hello everyone, this is Ting Ting. And before we start today's lesson, I want to give you a quick introduction about myself. So, I have extensive experience as a product manager, working on products ranging from AI-driven SaaS products to educational technology solutions. And I have led cross-functional teams and successfully launched products that drive significant user engagement and also revenue growth. So today I will be discussing a critical skill for product managers, which is product sense. So product sense interview questions are designed to showcase your creativity, empathy, and problem-solving skills. So you will need to effectively brainstorm, understand user needs, and also solve relevant problems from their perspectives. To demonstrate this, I will be walking through how I would approach product sense question like improving Facebook Marketplace. But before we start the real world problem, I want to talk about what is product sense. So product sense is about identifying what matters the most in a product. It's the skill to evaluate how well a product meets user needs and knowing how to prioritize features and trade-offs. So this skill is not only important for product management interviews, but also essential for driving product success. So several of the key components we want to remember is first and foremost, always understand user needs. And secondly, identify core product value. Thirdly, prioritizing features. And lastly, balance trade-offs. So trade-offs could be user experience trade-off, technical limitation trade-off, or sometimes we have timeline constraint as well. We will go into more details once we have the sample problem. Okay. So next, I want to first introduce the circles framework. This is actually a tool that helps us structure your thinking in the product sense question. So this framework breaks down the process into clear steps to ensure we have a thorough evaluation of a product problem. So we always start by comprehend the situation and then identify the customer, then understand the user needs. So throughout these steps, you can always talk to your interviewers to make sure that you guys are aligned on the same page. Okay, so after we understand the customer needs, we need to cut through priorities by focusing on the most important features or the problem to solve. We then list out the potential solutions and then also evaluate trade-offs before we summarize what's our best recommendation. So always remember the circles framework, comprehend the situation, identify the customer, report the customer needs, customer priorities, list solutions, evaluate trade-offs, and summarize and recommend. Okay, so now let's apply this to a real world problem. How would you improve Facebook Marketplace? So we all know about Facebook Marketplace, right? Some of us might use it before, but how would you improve it as a product manager? So remember, we are going to use our circles framework here. Okay. All right. So the first step is comprehend the situation. So what's the challenge that Facebook Marketplace face today? So Facebook Marketplace is a platform that allows users to buy and sell locally, but it faces competition from specialized apps like Craigslist, OfferUp, and eBay. So the problem we identify here might be the user may struggle with trust, discoverability, and the overall transaction experience. So what might be our customer? So the primary user for Facebook Marketplace is the regular Facebook user, right? Usually range from 18 to 65 years old. And also we will have users like small business owners and also individuals who's looking for a quick local buying or selling experience. And we also might have secondary users, which is more casual buyers, people who seeking to buy unique items. So let's do a quick summary before we move on to the next page. So we begin by comprehending the situation. So Facebook Marketplace faces challenges in trust, discoverability, and ease of transactions. And the primary users are regular Facebook users and small business owners. Now we move on to analyze what's the customer needs here. So after we mention our problem, which is the marketplace is facing challenges in trust, discoverability, and ease of transaction, the customer needs here is the trust and safety. How do you find reliable sellers? And also the ease of use, which is how can you find the right product quickly? And lastly, seamless transaction for better communication and payment experience. So we all know that today in Facebook Marketplace, they don't have in-app payment where you can only do payment offline. This actually adds a sense of insecurity to the users. Okay, so these are the customer needs, right? So next is we need to identify our priorities in this product sense problem. So the top priorities I identified is actually we need to improve trust in the platform with verified users. And next is enhance product discoverability with better filters and personalized recommendations. And thirdly, improve the buying or selling experience by adding secure payment and communication tools. So let's dive in more into our priorities. So in terms of priority, the first issue is trust, where a user wants to know that they're buying from reliable sellers. So the first solution I would propose is to introduce verified user badges. It's similar to Airbnb or eBay, right? Where you have an icon on the user profile picture, you know that, okay, this user has been verified. So this we can ensure users to feel safe when transacting or talk to the buyer or seller. And the next solution is to improve the search experience by adding more granular filters, things like price range, location proximity, and also introduce personalized product recommendations based on the user behavior. And lastly is to integrate secure in-app payment methods to facilitate safe and easy transactions. So while we propose some great solutions, there are always trade-offs that we want to think of. So potential trade-off might be first when we think about implementing verified user badges, this may reduce the number of casual users as this will require additional steps to verify identity. However, this will increase trust and security, so this is a vital factor for user retention. And the second trade-off when we talk about solution two is to improve the search experience. But enhancing the search and recommendation systems requires investment in AI ML, which could be resource heavy, but will lead to a much more personalized user experience and improving engagement. And the third trade-off for solution three is in-app payments increase safety, but may also introduce fees, which could deter users who prefer free platforms. So the reason why we want to mention trade-off here is we want to show the interviewer that we're not only just proposing solutions, we're also thinking about trade-offs that might negatively impact the feature enhancement here. Okay, so we want to show a critical thinking process here. Okay. All right. So always importantly, once we list out all our great thinking process, all the priorities, user needs, the solution we propose, we always want to summarize and give a recommendation. So we talk about today the Facebook marketplace is facing challenges for trust, discoverability, and ease of payment. So we want to first focus on introducing user verification badges to build trust. And simultaneously, we want to improve the search and discoverability features to enhance the user experience. And in later phase, we can introduce in-app payments for secure transactions. And to further visualize the solution I proposed, first, the user verified badges will build trust by letting user know that they're dealing with real people. So what we can do is once the user is verified, we can put a little icon on their profile pages. And then secondly, when we improve search and adding personalized recommendation, this will make user to easily to find exactly what they are looking for. And finally, for in-app payments, this will help streamline the transaction process, making it safer and more convenient for everyone to use. Remember, it is always very important to keep engaging your interviewer. So throughout the whole circles framework that you're using, you can always ask interactive questions to your interviewer, such as, I'm going to stop here. Do you have any questions before we move forward? So this way you can know how well the interviewer is understanding your thought process. Okay. All right. And then there are always a bonus point if you can mention common pitfalls. So when improving a product like Facebook Marketplace, it's important to avoid certain pitfalls, such as if we add too many features, this can overcomplicating the product with too many new features. And then we might also neglecting the importance of user feedback for improvements. And lastly, overlooking core issues like trust can lead to poor user retention or ease of use. So always keep in mind that we might have some pitfalls that we want to remember and mention to the interviewer, also to ourselves. Okay, so this actually concludes how we will solve to improve the improvement of Facebook Marketplace. So I will quickly summarize. So Product Sense requires a deep understanding of user needs and making thought for high priority improvements. The Circles framework is a great way to start with and organize this thinking process. For the problem we talk about today for Facebook Marketplace, trust and ease of use are the top priorities to improve user satisfaction. So when we do the recommendation, we always want to mention, okay, these are the top priorities. That's why I order my priorities like this. Okay, thank you for listening. I will be seeing you guys soon. Bye.